I know I don't laugh or smile as much as I cry, and I wander lost and ask why my children aren't by my side. Why men hide behind their pride, why hopes and dreams must die. I see us all steal and deceive, making ourselves believe better you than me. If it takes a village to raise a child, where do I go to find my village? Because everything that I thought was good and loving, I have seen leveled and pillaged. And they tell me that being here itself is a privilege, and all I want to do is run from this place screaming. My soul is bleeding and my heart no longer believes. My eyes know they've been deceived, shown things my mind can't conceive. And this apathy and lack of fucking integrity is a disease, and it's brought all of us to our knees. And let me start out by saying I wasn't always of this perspective. I grew up in LA and drove in cars where the people said about people flying a sign, that guy probably makes more in a day than I do. And they were record producers and musicians and actors and cocktail waitresses who made thousands of dollars a month, and there is no way. I think the hardest thing for me in Santa Cruz is perception. There's a lot of garbage, and there's a lot of needles, and there's a lot of shit in the press. That doesn't represent me, and it isn't who I am. I'm a woman who traveled 48 states in Canada with a 3-legged dog. I'm a girl who lived with her mom until she died when I was 18. I'm a young lady who studied acting and performing arts from the time that I was 6 until I was 27 years old. I'm a hippie, and I'm white trash, and I'm a mom. And I've been the most fulfilled in my whole life baking cookies and sweeping a floor, watching a 2-year-old play with cars on a rug that looked like a road. But unfortunately, the man that I was with at the time didn't. And I'd had a history with CPS before, thanks to a man who set me up so that I would need him. And CPS doesn't care why they get the calls, only that they get them. And I did everything they asked me to do twice, including beat him in California State Appellate Court. And when I told my father of my kids that he needed to go, he broke 12 panes of glass out of my window, and it started all over again. After 5 years of struggling to put everything back together I had lost, losing it a year and a half later was more than my mind could stand. And in the 7 months that it took to fight and win in this county, Judge Salazar found that CPS should have never taken my children. Everything else had fallen apart. I don't know how to get up every day without my kids, and I can tell you every minute of every day what I would rather be doing. Waiting for the little one to wake up for a nap, and for Alex to get home from school, and hoping Cody didn't ditch. Maybe waiting for a call to help go deliver a baby, because I love babies. I tell everybody that they all smell funny and they're ugly, but that's just so I don't have to admit how cute they all are. People who are paid to deal with people in this county deal with a lot of the same people over and over and over again. And it becomes a matter of course to become jaded and to not take into account each individual story that's going on. You know, the next time you hear an argument or you hear something loud and you think those homeless people, listen for a minute. Somebody might have a point. You know, they might be standing up for their rights or for the way they're treated or for the fact that they're being represented with garbage in the park. Because you'll hear my voice when there's a group of homeless people somewhere public and they're behaving badly. And I will say, respect yourself. Respect us and respect others, because this doesn't fucking represent me. My children play here and my life's been here. And I don't know how to explain how arcane the system in this county is. Like I said, I've traveled 48 states in Canada. I've seen functioning homeless services. I've seen functioning systems. And I've also seen communities that take care of each other better. In the days when we lived in wood and brick, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but cement and steel eat our energy, and stones and bricks are warm and homey, and when we lived in stone and brick and my neighbor's mother died, we brought them food and cared for them and made sure they weren't on their own. When somebody was having a tragedy and they were trying to take their children away, they gathered together and didn't pull away. That doesn't happen here in Santa Cruz anymore. If you cry, people leave. You know, when you ask what's wrong, if you say, fine, but do you really want to know the truth? Most people don't even hear what you're saying to them. There are big cities where you are more anonymous, but sometimes that's more painless than being in a place where everybody knows you and everybody assumes they know what's happened based on things they've heard, what they think, and what other people say they've seen. Nothing represents me but me, and I will answer every question you have honestly, and I will face the wrongs that I have done, and I own my shit. But it's time to start judging people for who they are and not what you think they are or what you are afraid you might be. Because the people who pick up our trash, people who come in and call us our homes garbage and put them in garbage bags and throw them in the back of pickup trucks with city uniforms on, make minimum wage. And they're 1 or 2 paychecks away from living in a tent next to mine, and they're stealing my shit all the time. Not the garbage that lays there, but the clothes in the backpack that are stashed behind the bush goes. And the trash remains everywhere. And they take photographs. They went into a camp that I was a part of, and they destroyed my camp. I had been there for 7 months, and I had canopies and things growing in a barbecue area. And they tore everything down and threw it in a pile and took photographs of it and put it in a Sentinel and said, see the garbage, your homeless neighbors. 2 hours before that, that garbage was my home. And I walked out of there with no shoes and no bra and my hip displaced, with the cops telling me, faster. And isn't it fucked up your friends didn't come back to help you? When they told my friends if they came back to help me, they'd be arrested. You don't know what it's like to have your shit fall off your bike and not know where you're gonna sleep tonight. To go meet someone who says they're gonna help you get off the street and find they're just not around to get you down, and my backpack is so fucking heavy. So remember, the next time you look at somebody and say he's just gonna spend that money on booze or drugs, or don't help that fucking person, or they're not like me, that you might be surprised. Because if you look into their eyes, you might see a soul and a heart just fucking like yours.